Well, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video of Bendy Bang Fishing. In this video, we're gonna be talking about this old bass boat. Old but trusty, tell you guys that. And what exactly is my boat, right? So my boat is rare. She's an OG. She's over 30 years old, older than me. She is a 1991 Tidecraft Legend. You don't see those boats around, super old school, third generation bass boats, right? And so the reason why I got this particular boat, right, is because I have a very small garage. I mean, it looks decent now, but the garage doors, right, it's those old homes with those single door garages, right? Single car, you know? So I had very limited space that could fit the width of a boat, okay? So when I actually picked out this boat, I had to talk to the previous owner. Hey man, do you think your boat will fit in my garage? And we had to make exact measurements and stuff like that. And I picked up this boat, okay? So she's perfect for me. She's a great boat. I caught tons and tons of monster fish with it, so I can't complain. But in this video, guys, we're gonna be talking everything about this boat that you wanna know, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Cheers to beer, if you like drinking beer. If you don't like drinking beer, that's fine, but we gotta drink one of these to enjoy our day. Actually, I went fishing out this weekend to St. Croix River, Swing Bridge, and man, it was tough. We had a cold front that ran through, and the fishing just turned off. I went with my boy Danny, my Dalao brother-in-law, right? We went out, and he was underdressed, and so he left, and then we went to try another lake in Wisconsin for some bass, but it turned out to be just trout heaven. We saw a bunch of fish on trout, a bunch of fish on live scope, and we scoped them out. It was fun. It's like little dinks and stuff, but whatever, you know. So here we are, Sunday, making this video for you guys. Cheers. Can't catch a fish, but I'll catch a buzz. Let's go ahead and talk about the brains of the boat, okay? So first of all, in my front deck here, as you guys can see, we have a 93 SV Garmin, also with a Helix 10 Mega Side Imaging, okay? So this one has everything from side imaging, down imaging, to mapping and all that stuff. And in this Helix, I have it with a Smart Strike, okay? So Garmin, not Garmin, Humminbird Smart Strike. So Smart Strike, what exactly is Smart Strike? Smart Strike is a Humminbird chip, right? So if you guys don't know, Humminbird, you need to have a chip, otherwise the unit is not gonna have any mapping, right? That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to stick with Humminbird for a main unit, because you gotta buy the SD card for everything, you know? And so with this Humminbird, I use it with my Mega 360. So I run Helix 10, this Helix 10 with my Mega 360 right here. And the reason that I like the 360 with the Helix 10 is because you get to see bottom composition, right? And so if you're fishing anything like weed lines or rocks or transitions, or if you're fishing a new lake and you don't really understand what's going on, 360 helps you identify bottom composition. And why exactly is bottom composition important? Because you have an understanding of exactly what you're fishing. So that's very important to be successful and efficient as an angler, and you can use this as a tool to learn very fast about what you're fishing, what is around you, what is underneath you, and how it relates to what type of baits you should be throwing, what kind of, you know, technique you should be applying to the fishing or species or whatever. But this thing, I freaking love it. You can save waypoints on this thing. So for example, you can come back to your spot on day 2 or whatever, and you're like, all right, I saw that super cool offshore rock, boats, sunken, whatever it is. You can save it, come back to it. I like to check my map, and that's how I can quickly ID it, okay? And so now let's go ahead and talk about my Garmin 93 SV with my live scope, okay? So I love my live scope, dude. I mean, it helps you a lot, guys. I mean, like, if you're somebody who's like thinking about, hey man, should I get a live scope or not? Dude, you gotta get it, because you understand so much about what you're fishing, right? So super popular debate right now in the bass fishing world is live scope versus non-live scopers, right? Guys, live scope is amazing. It's a great tool. I use it for ice fishing. And if you're not using it, I mean, you're just blind casting. You're just fishing old school, right? So this thing is amazing, okay? So what exactly do I use it for, and what are some advantages, right? So live scope, you guys know it, forward facing sonar. You use it so you can see the fish in front of you, you can track them, you can cast to them, and they will bite, right? But what I like to use it for 90% of the time is finding out, again, bottom composition. And with the Mega 360 and with the live scope, I have a superb understanding of exactly what is going on when I'm fishing. So at 360, I can see a flat view of the bottom composition. And with its rings and stuff, I can see exactly what's going on, where the rock is, where those weed lines are at, where that hard to soft bottom transition is, all that stuff, right? And my live scope is mounted onto my trolling motor, okay? And my trolling motor is the Minn Kota Ultrax 70-pound thrust, okay? And this thing is sick. I think it's actually an 80-pound thrust. Yeah, 80-pound thrust, 24 volts. I have my LVS 34 hooked to the front of it, okay? And so when I'm panning around, right, I can see exactly what's going on. And guys, I'm looking for bottom composition, I'm looking for bait fish, I'm looking for weed line, and I'm looking for hard cover, structure, anything that will identify as a spot where a fish could be hanging out, right? And so with these two hand in hand, it's just the ultimate killer, guys. Sometimes I see bass on it, yes, they're just gonna be bigger blobs, usually isolated by themselves, or just a small group of fish, right? And so these two, man, it's such a badass killer. Yes, can I fish and catch big ones without them? Yes, as you guys know, who've been following this channel for a long time, I fished out of my tin can boat, right? And no electronics, flipping docks, catching everything, right? But back to this, I absolutely love it though. I learned so much more about fishing. You get to ID fish, you understand how fish is. But in conclusion to this front electronics area, it just helps so much with understanding, again guys, what you're doing with the fish, bottom composition, exactly what you're scanning for, and making precise, accurate casts at what you're targeting. So instead of guessing, now you understand exactly what you're doing, so you're not wasting any time. And not only that, with live scope, you can actually press on it and like make waypoints, and then that would network to my main unit, okay? So what's next now is the console, okay? So let's go ahead and head over to the console. Okay, so now we are at the console of the boat, and on this fish finder right here, we have a 106 SV. So I use this for mapping, for side scanning, and also for live scope as well. So this unit is networked with the 93 SV at the front. And what does it mean to be networked, you guys might think? So basically, fish finders, right? If one unit to another, if they are networked together, that means they have an Ethernet cable that connects the computers together so they can talk. And so what this means is that you can share waypoints, okay? So why are waypoints why are they important, okay? So for example, if you're using this unit and you're side scanning, right? You're able to see both sides of the boat up to whatever feet you want. 100 is what I prefer. And if you see a weed line and if you see a bottom structure, you can pause the touch screen on the Garmin, in which I do love using. You can pause it, drop a waypoint on exactly where that item or structure is, and save it to something that you can put like rock, boat, sunken boat, weed line, or whatever, right? And every time you go back to your map settings, you're gonna see that option in the front of the boat. And why is that important? Because when you're idling around, you mark stuff around, save it, go to the front of the boat, look exactly where that was, turn back around, see it on Mega 360, and also see it on live scope. Guys, you see the target, you see if there's fish, and you can identify so much about what you're fishing and how to be an efficient angler. But outside the unit, that's basically what I use it for. And also the angler in the back, if they want to, they can press the option to see live scope as well. So if I'm fishing in the front, I'm scanning around, or if we're spot locked, we can then see exactly what I'm fishing and stuff like that. And another key important thing that I forgot to mention earlier about the front of the deck is having the right trolling motor. I didn't really talk about it, but what I have up there is the Minn Kota Ultrex with spot lock. And guys, spot lock is a absolute critical and crucial advantage to your skill and your success as an angler on the boat. If you guys are new to fishing, and if you guys are just getting everything started, guys, start off with getting a boat or buying a trolling motor that has spot lock. So basically, if you guys don't know what spot lock is, if you're fishing on the boat, you have your trolling motor that goes left or right, but if you hit spot lock, you're gonna stay positioned in one spot and let the computer of the trolling motor GPS you to a certain or a specific area, so you're good to go. No more messing around. You gotta catch a fish, spot lock, you're good to go, okay? And so that's pretty much it for the console area, just super OG style. This boat is very minimal. Again, guys, 1991, very old school boat. So all I have is the RPM gauge, a few switches for like fuel pump, no, not fuel pump, live wells and lights. That's pretty much it. And so old school boat, but I still love it, gets the job done, okay? And let's go ahead and talk about the back. This is a 1980s Johnson 90 horsepower, okay? So this motor is super old. It's super loud too, because it's two-stroke, right? And so the motor is super loud, super healthy, but it gets me going all the time. I never had any issues on the lake fishing as well. So as long as you keep everything maintained, you're good to go. The only issue I have with this motor this one time was because I just, I think I took it apart and I messed with the shift bearing, you know? And so it had trouble starting, going into reverse and shift. Those of you guys who follow me on Facebook remember that issue I had. But ever since I took it over to my mechanic to fix, no more issues. So on the back of the boat, it's running good so far, and everything is running as expected. I also have this little hydro foil in the back. Hydro foils, my other one broke, and so I thought that the boat would run fine without it, but when I actually got a new one on, it rode a lot better. So basically it was harder playing when I was riding the boat. It was just kind of like boom, 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 boom. But after I put it back on, it was good to go. So now we talked about the front of the boat, we talked about the console. Let's talk about compartments. So in the compartments, it's pretty simple, right? So in the compartments in the back, there's 3 compartments, right? So one on the left, one on the right. The one on the left is my trolling motor battery area. Also, as well as the storage for other miscellaneous items like G-juice, jacks, emergency items, fishing line, and stuff that I don't really use all the time. And the battery that is running my Ultrex is a Roy Pow 24 volt, 100 hour amp lithium battery. And this thing is sweet. If you guys want to get a lithium battery for your 24 volt, get a Roy Pow. The reason why is because they have great service, great warranty, and not only that, they have a mobile app that lets you track your battery percentage on it. And I use this on like all day, on like big fishing trips and having my motor run all day long, and it's still good. Maybe the lowest I've seen is maybe like 40%, and that's after like trolling all day on like Minneapolis chain of lakes and fishing hard. And in the center here, we just have a big, not big, but we just have like a little live well here, enough to fit 5 big ass bass in there, so no biggie there, relatively simple. And on the right hand side of the boat, we have the battery compartment. And guys, I'm running one starting battery for my motor, and that is a Optimo deep cycle battery. I had this thing for a long time, still super healthy, still starts every single time, so no biggie there. I know it's a little bit messy, but guys, it's important to always run all your systems straight to the wires. And so in the back here, I'm running a Redodo. So Redodo battery is a 12 volt, 100 hour amp mini battery. So this thing has been running just fine. I run this to run 3 of my graphs and all the other boat electronics, okay? So it'll be running good. So if you guys want to get some Redodo batteries, they're good, they're affordable. Yes, they are considered Chinese knockoffs on Amazon, but guys, if you're looking to save money and if you're looking to get a good battery, just get a Redodo, save money. There are American made or American so-called claimed made batteries that are like super expensive and stuff like that, but guys, they all come from China. America doesn't make batteries. I mean, there are some companies that do assemble batteries, but everything comes from China, you know, so can't complain there. They're powerhouse, they making money anyways. Let's now talk about the compartments in the front. So in the compartment, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compartments, right? So let's talk about the smallest one. So the smallest one here is a compartment that is pretty much used for storage, right? So in this area, I put pretty much anything, miscellaneous tools, tackle, alt tracks, trolling motor, remote handles, anything in there really. So it's more of just like a little storage area for whatever. And the rod locker, surprisingly, is actually pretty good for this 15.6 foot boat, okay? So I put all my rods in here. I'm also running a Roy Pow 12 volt 30 hour amp battery to run my live scope and black box specifically, as well as the Mega 360. So this thing is powering my Mega 360, live scope, and black box. And I also run a Garmin network box. And this one was made by, I forgot who again is like, oh yeah. So what I'm running with that is a Breezy box. So you can find him on YouTube. He creates networked Garmin boxes for cheap. So in order for your Garmins to talk, especially your eco maps, you're gonna need to have a device that networks them together, kind of like a network switch, okay? So if you doesn't know what network switch is pretty much where two computers can talk together using a switch so that information is connected through each device, okay? So in the middle area, what exactly do we have here? We have this one and that one. And so as you guys can see, I always use these in my videos. They're pretty much where all my tackle is, right? You know, and exactly, it's not the biggest tackle room ever, but good enough for me. I stuff all my shit in here and they're good to go. It works for me. So in the middle one, we have tackle boxes and a bunch of lures, hooks, terminal gears, and everything. And on the right side here, we have things such as plastics. So everything here is nice to go. Yes, it would be nice to have more room, but does it work for me? Of course. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this little boat walkthrough. We talked about the front, we talked about the console, we talked about the back, and we also talked about the compartments, all right? Yes, is the boat small? Of course, it's a 15-foot fiberglass boat, but does it do the job? Absolutely, yes. You guys been following this channel for a while. You guys know, man, we catch some big fish on this tiny boat. But this thing is a beast, guys. I love this boat. I owned it for like 3 years now. Took super great care of it. Upgraded the seats, upgraded all the electronics. This thing is sweet. And does it handle big waves good? That is the only con of the boat. As you guys know, we went to Mille Lacs. We went to the big river systems like St. Croix, Mississippi. It's good when it's calm. But when it's windy, oh my God, this boat is like boom, 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 boom. The reason why smaller boats don't ride good in big waves is because when those waves are really big, your boat is basically just lifting off and smashing into the waves. So you're actually good there, but now I understand why some people have bigger boats, deep V boats. You cut against the water better. But this guy can go super shallow. I can get where some boats can't even go. So that's pretty much it for this little walkthrough of this boat. Again, guys, 1991 Tidecraft Legend. This thing is a beast. I love this boat. I don't see me going anywhere else without this boat for a while because, again, guys, garage door is small. If I want to get a bigger boat, I got to get a bigger garage. Got to fix the door. It's going to cost maybe a few thousand, you know? But that's pretty much it, though. I mean, I love this boat. Hope you guys enjoy this little video of the walkthrough. Upcoming week, this next video, we're gonna be going to Okoboji. If you guys don't know Okoboji is a Great Lake in Iowa. And what makes it great? Giant bass, guys. I mean, we're gonna go there chasing after some trophies, and we're gonna film a great video, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. A little bit long, but for those who are interested in technicalities of a boat and performance and stuff like that, guys, again, you don't need a nice boat to catch fish, okay, guys? Remember that, okay? Whatever works for you, everybody's financial situations are different. Do what works for you, stay in your lane. A bass does not know if your boat is 80K or $5,000, okay? I bought this boat back in 2020 for $4,700. Not exactly an expensive boat for some people, but then for some people, it may be very expensive, okay? So I got what worked for me, and I hope you get what works for you. Don't get a boat to show off, get a boat that works for you, okay? A fish does not know if your boat is 80,000. Anyways, guys, maybe one day I will get a nice boat because they are very pretty, okay? But anyways, enough talking. I'm tired. I've been talking for the past 30 minutes. Again, guys, love you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one, all right? Peace out.